Good afternoon. Today I'm going to give you a couple of cases of karma from bullies that like to pick on kids that don't meet the grade on popularity. The first one is I was the assistant manager of a karate studio, and when my old bully walked into the studio, his name was Paul. At first, I wasn't sure it was him. I didn't say anything, and Paul was interested in joining the dojo. And I showed him around, discussed pricing, etc. I didn't treat him any differently than I would have anybody else. At the end of the tour, he decided to join it, and we sat down in the office where we filled out the paperwork. When he wrote his name, I was sure it was him, and he was indeed my old bully. This guy used to torment me on every day and made me actually kneel and dog crap. I didn't say anything till after he prepaid me for entire year's membership. As I walked him to the door, I smiled. I'm really looking forward to training you. And Paul said, thanks, me too. You don't know who I am, do you? Yes, we went to school, grade 3 through 8, and you bullied me every day and made my life miserable. Can't wait to see you in class. Paul went white and left and never came back, losing the $500 deposit. Karma is great. Here is the bully becomes a bully. I befriended a larger red-haired girl when we were in grade 3 or 4. She was new to school and everyone had their own friends, and she was kind of ignored. So I didn't have so many friends, so I gladly accepted her, and we became best friends. Fast forward to middle school. She was still large but got breasts and wore makeup, so she became popular. I was still way too tall and too thin and an awkward girl with a lisp. Everybody made fun of me, and she joined in so she could be cool. It got worse as they started to instigate me, and she would instigate it. And now, this is my old friend. They'd circle me and beat me with other girls and egg my house. Then we go to high school. I filled out a bit and got better friends. About halfway through the 11th grade, people started realizing how mean and fake she had become, and they started turning on her. One day in the hall, she was crying, and I asked her if she was okay. I offered my phone to her because she needed to call her mom. That year, she transferred to another school for her grade 12 because now she was being bullied. Funny thing is, I don't feel sorry for her. Bullying sucks. The next one is, justice isn't always swift, but it's inevitable. In 8th grade, this kid threw a wooden block at me. He's probably thinking, oh, that's the punk girl. No, she would go hysterical. I blacked out for a good 10 to 15 seconds after it clocked me in the head. When I came to, him and his friends were all on the ground laughing at how funny this was. I ended up having to go to urgent care and not participate in gym class for a few days. His mom was on the school board and had a large role in the financial decisions of the school, so the administration was afraid to punish him and did nothing. The only thing I got was the math teacher was his football coach, and he made him run an extra mile while everyone else got to take a food and water break. Well, we fast forward 2 years. Everyone is freaking out that he can't play football. He ended up spraining his back and breaking a few ribs from a stupid post-party escapade into the woods the week before his sophomore year started. The concussion he sustained had been severe enough that if he had another second concussion, it could have ended up being severe brain damage. Well, that's what happens. Then we have the case of a kid named Clown. Now, in middle school, I knew this idiot named Eric that was a pretty big dick to me. He was older and had failed a couple of times. Because of his style and the fact that he once showed up to school in clown paint, he was known as Clown to most. He harassed me as much as he could, lighting part of my hair on fire at a skating rink, and pretty much stole my first girlfriend from me. He ended up getting expelled for decking a female teacher in the face. Fast forward to my senior year in school. I'm hanging out with some friends, and a preview for the nightly news comes on. The top story was about a deadly assault. You guessed it. That guy was the one that did it, and he is now spending life in prison with no chance for parole.